So you might be sick of the time gates, particularly with the amount of polished crystals you need to obtain, the new noble ones, to craft all these growth stones to get that tier 3 gear max leveled. So in this video, I'll cover a valid strategy that allows you to infinitely farm them depending on how much time you have. Now just to highlight, I did make a video about 2 weeks ago that did go over the main sources of those crystals. These being like the daily and weekly activities you want to do to ultimately get just over 70 on average per day, with the potential to get higher through better boss contribution. And yeah, it kind of sucks that legacy players are stealing all that contribution and drops from hyperboost players. But this method circumvents all this. It's not just farming regular open world mobs, as we displayed was a pretty miserable drop rate. You can actually kill these kind of elite mini bosses, as it were. They will display a specific icon on the map when you get near them. And these have not the worst chance to actually drop these polished crystals. About 7.5%, probably increased to 8% with Amatoi item chance. As I covered in a previous video, how to easily get that to at least 7% right now. So just to check that drop rate, I did go and kill over 100 of these recording the results, and I got about a 9.4% drop rate. And that's just over the course of an hour or so farming these guys. Now it's not just the one I'm next to, it's the entirety of the Talandra area. If you check your map, the Swamp of Silence, you will find this elite boss. Checking quest log will show you exactly the 4 spawn locations of where he's situated and the expected drop rate of 7.4%. So this very nicely shows you exactly where to go to find them. And you can see these shark bosses just look like this right here. In the Forest of the Great Tree area, you can find these infiltration captains. They will look like this right here. Again, they should have the same drop rate, 7.4 normally, with 5 spawn locations upon this ridge. Also in the Forest of the Great Tree area, there are the white beard ogre shamans. They look like this big guy, same drop rate, with 4 spawn points here. Up in the Black Anvil Forge area, you find those dwarf commanders. However, I don't really recommend going to these guys. It's only a 1.2% with 7 spawn locations here. But yeah, not really worth going to with that much lower drop rate. Over in Berkant Manor, you'll find the Trent Warrior Chiefs. These guys can be worth killing with the usual 7.4% chance. And these 4 spawn locations. I'm not sure why it shows 3 here, but I've always only just found 1 guy there. In the Crimson Mansion section, you have the mutant killers. They just look like this guy here. Usual drop rate and 4 spawn points in the Crimson Mansion section. Finally, this last area, you're going to find Water Golem Commanders looking like this guy here. 7.4% drop rate with 4 spawn locations. But there are also, where I'm at now, these giant goblin slaughterers. And these are the main guys I've killed as I've kind of just camped out this area and got quite a few crystals from them. But not lucky this time. They should have that 7.4%. And they do have 5 spawn locations on the ridge here. 3 of them really close together. This is my spot, don't come here. There's one up here. And then you can fly down. And there's another right there. We kill him, hopefully get lucky. We did not. And then we can just fly down here. And here's the 3rd one. Now they respawn about every 3 minutes. So you can make a rotation for yourself. Or just be doing something else on the side. And always jumping back and killing them. Or potentially even just AFK farming one spot. And so yeah, it is a valid strategy to get an infinite amount of noble crystals, circumventing the usual hard caps, the hard limits. There is of course one extra way which I haven't listed here, and that's the nighttime chests. If you want to do PvP in like Crimson Mansion, Sorodoma Island, or the Shadowed Crypt, fight over chests and get some extra dungeon runs, which would equate to more crystals per day. Just, yes, like these mini bosses, you are contesting other players. I would assume if you're in a party and you kill one of these mini bosses, you all have a chance to drop the crystal. but if you're in individual parties, it's generally the person who gets the most contribution, I would assume, killing that boss. And thus the drop chance is split. But that's again assuming, correct me if I'm wrong. You can still get drops even though somebody's tagged it first, unlike just these regular enemies. But it doesn't look like you can get them all if somebody else has contributed most of the damage. And this guy's back. You can also get some drops killing these guys, like I've got the hat, I've got the Ebon Roar Sabatons, and you could potentially fill out some lithograph book entries, like I'll do here. But also be on the lookout of selling those, since they don't come as a usual drop anymore from like dungeons. The lithographs could be more expensive just for collectors who also want to get it, don't really want to put the effort into farming. Just be aware again, you need about 211 of these growth stones to actually get an item up to level 12. So that will require 211 crystals for armor and accessories and double that for weapons. It's very doable, and yes, I recommend transferring at level 0 getting to level 6. You can save like half a growth stone transferring it later, but that's about it. Worse if you do it here. And personally, I already have my cloak, trousers, boots, all accessories except the necklace, and so I only have 5 items left, 4 if I exclude the weapon, because I'll be staying with my Queen Belandiers for now, that I need to max out. I have enough growth stones to do another piece already. So the grind, yeah, really doesn't look bad at all compared to tier 2 in terms of leveling up gear. But overall, I hope this was somewhat insightful. Another special thanks to the extra support of my channel members. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys around. Oh, and yes, to put a little bit of a complaint, my server Cascade went down under maintenance. It basically crashed and even put us in a queue right before we had our Archboss event. You can see 7:05, the usual time we have Archboss here in Europe. So a ton of us on this server missed out. It would be great to have some acknowledgement from the devs and have a reschedule, but no clue if that's going to happen. They haven't said a thing.